Daniel, you've been staring at that screen for almost 6 hours.
Just one more bug. If I can fix this tonight, tomorrow could change everything.
You said that yesterday, and the day before.
I promise.
Come and eat before your jollof rice turns into ice.
I'm coming, I promise.
You promised 3 hours ago.
That's because my future wife keeps distracting me.
Future wife, who?
Don't pretend you don't know.
Maybe I'll marry someone who actually sleeps.
Impossible. Nobody else will love me this much.
You're very confident.
Because I've already won the lottery. I found you. One day when this company becomes one of the biggest AI firms in Europe, I'll remember who never left my side.
You don't have to become rich for me to stay.
I want to become successful because of you. You've done too much.
We're building our future, not yours, ours.
Our future, our house, our family.
Promises are expensive.
Then consider this an investment. One day I'll repay every sacrifice you've ever made.
I don't want the money back.
Then what do you want?
Just don't ever make me regret believing in you.
Never. I'd never hurt the woman who built my life.
London has a way of making dreams look closer than they really are. Its glittering skyline promised opportunity to anyone willing to work hard enough. But behind every success story were sleepless nights, unpaid bills, and invisible sacrifices that rarely made the headlines. For Amelia Okafor, success had never been about expensive handbags or luxury holidays. Every morning before sunrise, she tied back her neatly braided hair, slipped into her crisp white pharmacist coat, and spent 10-hour shifts helping strangers manage illnesses, comforting anxious parents, and making sure elderly patients never missed their medication. Her colleagues admired her calm smile, but few knew that almost every extra shift she accepted had a purpose far beyond paying her own bills. 3 years ago, she had met Daniel Adeyemi at a Nigerian community networking event in East London. He was brilliant, funny, and overflowing with ideas, but his bank account rarely reflected the size of his ambitions. Fresh out of university and struggling to break into London's fiercely competitive technology industry, Daniel spent more time sending job applications than receiving interview invitations. Amelia saw something that many people overlooked. Beneath the frustration and disappointment was genuine talent. While others dismissed him as another dreamer chasing impossible ideas, she believed he only needed one opportunity to prove himself. That belief quietly transformed her life. When Daniel's aging laptop failed during an online coding assessment, Amelia used almost all the money she had been saving for her own postgraduate pharmacy certification to buy him a replacement. When his rent fell behind, she covered it without hesitation. She paid for advanced programming courses, professional cloud certifications, high-speed internet, startup registration fees, and even the train fares to interviews across London. Every sacrifice came with the same reassuring thought: we are building our future. Daniel never demanded these things from her. In fact, he often protested at first, but each time Amelia insisted that they were investing in a shared dream, he accepted her help with gratitude and promises that one day he would make every sacrifice worthwhile. Those promises became the foundation of their relationship. Little by little, Daniel's career began to change. Freelance software projects turned into consultancy contracts. Consultancy work attracted investors. Investors introduced mentors. Before long, the idea that had once lived only on his bedroom laptop was evolving into a genuine artificial intelligence startup with real commercial potential. For the first time in years, it felt as though every sleepless night had been worth it. Amelia believed the hardest chapter of their lives was finally over. She had no idea that success was about to test Daniel's character far more than poverty ever had.
We're prepared to offer your company its first major investment.
Are you serious?
£500,000.
Half a million?
Provided you can scale the platform within 12 months.
I don't even know what to say.
Say yes.
Yes, absolutely yes.
Good. Our legal team will contact you this afternoon. Congratulations, Mr. Adeyemi.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to a different life.
Yes.
Daniel barely remembered how he reached the train station that evening. His hands trembled as he stared at the signed investment agreement resting safely inside his leather document folder. For years, success had felt like something that belonged to other people, those with wealthy families, influential connections, or extraordinary luck. Now, after countless rejected applications, sleepless nights, and relentless determination, opportunity had finally knocked at his door. £500,000. The figure echoed repeatedly in his mind. To Daniel, it wasn't simply money, it represented validation. Every sacrifice, every disappointment, every humiliating moment of wondering whether he had made a mistake by moving to the United Kingdom suddenly seemed worthwhile. His startup, Lumina Mind AI, finally had a future. What Daniel couldn't see was that success rarely arrives alone. It often brings new friendships, new temptations, and new versions of ourselves that even the people closest to us struggle to recognize.
We did it!
Did what?
They invested £500,000.
Oh my god! I knew it! I knew someone would finally see what I've always seen.
We did it. Not me. Us.
I told you all those night shifts would be worth something.
You'll never have to work overtime again.
Don't make promises tonight. Just enjoy this moment.
No, listen to me. You've carried both of us long enough.
I never carried you. We walked together.
Give me 1 year. I'll buy you the pharmacy you've always dreamed of.
You remembered that?
I remember everything.
I'm proud of you.
Everything from now on is for us.
You remembered
That evening became one of Amelia's happiest memories. She replayed Daniel's words countless times over the following weeks. Everything from now on is for us. She believed him because he had never given her a reason not to. As Lumina Mind AI expanded, life became busier for both of them. Daniel hired developers, designers, marketing specialists, project managers. Investors introduced him to influential business executives across London, and invitations to networking dinners began arriving almost every week. The tiny apartment where they had once celebrated surviving another month gradually became too small for the future they imagined. Amelia watched proudly as newspapers started mentioning Daniel's company among Britain's most promising AI startups. Every article filled her heart with quiet satisfaction. She never cared that reporters called him self-made. She simply smiled. She knew the truth. She didn't need public recognition. Seeing him succeed felt like watching her own dreams take shape. Sometimes, love convinces us that being unseen is acceptable, as long as the person we love never forgets who stood beside them in the dark.
Daniel, I've heard quite a lot about you tonight.
Hopefully nothing terrible.
Quite the opposite. Apparently you're London's newest AI genius.
That's a little exaggerated.
Modest too, that's rare. I'm Victoria Hart, Hart Capital Ventures. We're always looking for founders worth backing. Perhaps we should arrange lunch.
I'd like that.
Here's my card. Don't keep me waiting too long.
Victoria Hart represented everything Daniel's new world admired. Confident, sophisticated, educated at Oxford, raised among Britain's financial elite. Her family had invested in some of Europe's fastest-growing technology companies, and her sole name alone opened doors that many entrepreneurs spent decades trying to unlock. Daniel saw her first as another valuable business connection, nothing more. At least, that was what he told himself. The lunches became regular, then strategy meetings, then conferences in Manchester and Edinburgh. Each encounter seemed perfectly reasonable when viewed in isolation. Business was changing rapidly, and Daniel convinced himself that building relationships with investors required constant availability. Amelia never questioned him. If anything, she encouraged him to attend every meeting. She ironed his shirts for conferences. She adjusted her pharmacy shifts so she could drive him to early morning train departures. She even surprised him one evening with a beautifully engraved fountain pen to celebrate his first magazine cover. Daniel accepted the gift with genuine appreciation, yet somewhere beneath the excitement of his rising career, a subtle transformation had begun. For the first time since arriving in London, Daniel discovered what it felt like to be admired, not for his potential, but for his success. And admiration, when left unchecked, has a dangerous way of whispering that yesterday's sacrifices belong to yesterday's people.
Amelia, your phone has been vibrating for the last 5 minutes.
Is it Daniel?
No, unknown number. I'll call them back during lunch.
Hello?
Hey, sorry, sweetheart.
I was beginning to think you'd forgotten me.
I know. I'm sorry. The meeting is running longer than expected. Yeah, things are moving really fast.
That's the 4th dinner this week.
I know. Just bear with me a little longer.
I made your favorite coconut rice.
Are you sure you're eating properly?
Victoria booked dinner for everyone after the meeting.
That's nice. At least someone is making sure you don't skip meals.
I'll make it up to you this weekend. I promise.
You've promised me the last 3 weekends.
This one is different.
Okay, I'll believe you.
Thank you for always understanding.
That's what partners do.
I love you.
I love you too.
Amelia had never been the kind of woman who measured love by the number of hours spent together. She understood ambition. She understood pressure. More importantly, she understood Daniel, or at least she believed she did. Every cancelled dinner came with a reasonable explanation. Every postponed weekend getaway was blamed on investors, deadlines, or software updates. Each excuse made perfect sense on its own. And because they made perfect sense individually, Amelia never stopped to look at the pattern they were creating together. She simply adjusted. She swapped evening plans for morning breakfast that rarely happened. She reheated dinners that often ended up untouched. She celebrated Daniel's growing success from a distance, convincing herself that seasons of sacrifice were temporary. She often reminded herself something her late mother used to say: never compete with the dream you are helping someone build. So, she didn't complain. She prayed for him before every investor presentation. She left encouraging notes inside his laptop bag. She quietly paid for a luxury ergonomic office chair after noticing his back pain from working long hours, even though he insisted he could manage without it. Love, in Amelia's eyes, wasn't loud. It was faithful, even when no one noticed.
Please give another round of applause to one of Britain's fastest rising technology founders. Congratulations on your remarkable growth this year.
Thank you. It's an honor.
And we'd also like to congratulate you on your engagement.
Congratulations!
When's the wedding?
She must be incredibly proud.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize someone was standing there. May I help you?
Who did you just say was engaged?
I said the winner was engaged. Mr. Daniel Adeyemi.
Daniel Adeyemi.
Yes. Do you know him?
Yes, I thought I did.
Amelia had not planned to attend the awards ceremony. She had only gone because Daniel's assistant had called that afternoon, explaining that he was receiving an innovation award and suggesting it would mean a great deal if someone close to him were there to celebrate. Amelia smiled throughout her shift. She even left work early for the first time in months. On her way home, she stopped at a small jewelry boutique near Canary Wharf and bought a simple silver pen engraved with the words, "Your greatest achievement is still ahead." It wasn't expensive, but it came from the same heart that had spent years believing in him before the world ever did. She imagined surprising him after the ceremony. She imagined the look on his face. She imagined another memory they would laugh about years later. Instead, she stood frozen at the entrance of a magnificent ballroom while strangers applauded a future she knew nothing about. At first, Amelia convinced herself there had been some terrible mistake. Perhaps another Daniel Ademi was receiving the award. Perhaps the host had confused two stories. Perhaps engagement referred to a business partnership. Her mind searched desperately for explanations because the truth felt impossible. Then she saw him. Across the ballroom, Daniel stood under dazzling lights, smiling politely as photographers surrounded him. Beside him stood Victoria Hart, elegant in a breathtaking ivory evening gown. She wasn't standing there like an investor. She wasn't standing there like a colleague. She was standing exactly where a fiancé would stand. And then Daniel did something that shattered the last fragile piece of Amelia's hope. He gently reached for Victoria's hand and intertwined his fingers with hers. No words were necessary. Some betrayals announced themselves in complete silence.
Amelia, you're awake? I know it's late. The ceremony ran longer than...
Congratulations.
What?
Congratulations on your engagement.
Who told you?
Does it matter?
Amelia, please let me explain.
Explain what? That the man I helped build is marrying another woman?
It's not what you think.
Because I watched you hold her hand.
Things changed.
Things or you?
It's complicated.
Forgetting the woman who stood beside you for 6 years, that's a choice.
Victoria's family is investing another £10 million. This marriage, it opens doors I've spent my whole life trying to reach.
So that's it. You priced me.
Don't say it like that.
How should I say it? Should I applaud while you erase 6 years of my life?
I never meant to hurt you.
But you still did.
Answer one question. Just one. Did you ever intend to marry me?
I don't know anymore.
Thank you. That's the most honest thing you've said all night. Leave.
Amelia.
Leave before I start remembering the man I used to love.
Some heartbreaks arrive with shouting. Others arrive with silence. When Daniel walked out of the apartment that night carrying only a small overnight bag, Amelia didn't chase after him. She didn't throw anything. She didn't scream. She simply stood by the living room window, watching the tail lights of his car disappear into the rain-soaked London streets. For 6 years, that apartment had been their sanctuary. Every corner carried a memory. The dining table where they celebrated Daniel's first freelance payment. The sofa where they stayed awake until dawn preparing investor presentations. The tiny kitchen where Amelia often cooked meals after 12-hour pharmacy shifts because Daniel was too exhausted to stand. Every achievement they had celebrated belonged to both of them. Or so she had believed. The silence Daniel left behind felt heavier than any argument could have. It wasn't just the loss of a relationship. It was the collapse of the future she had spent years building in her heart. She had postponed holidays, delayed buying her own pharmacy, turned down career opportunities outside London, even declined a fully funded postgraduate clinical pharmacy program in Scotland because Daniel had once said, "I need you close while I build this company." She had never regretted those decisions until now. For the first time in years, Amelia asked herself a question she had never been brave enough to consider. Who was she outside of Daniel's dream.
Good morning. Welcome to Luminamind AI. How may I help you? I'm here to see Daniel Adeyemi. Do you have an appointment? No. Please tell him Amelia is here. He'll understand. I'm sorry. Mr. Adeyemi says he's unavailable. Unavailable or unwilling? I'm only passing along his message. Could you at least give him this envelope?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes?
I don't mean to be rude, but are you related to Mr. Adeyemi?
Why would you ask that?
When the company first started, everyone used to talk about a woman who believed in him before anybody else. I always wonder what happened to her.
So did I.
Inside the envelope Amelia left behind were no angry letters, no accusations, no desperate pleas for another chance. Instead, she had carefully gathered every receipt, every bank transfer confirmation, every tuition payment, every software license invoice, every rental payment, and every startup registration fee she had paid over 6 long years. Not because she wanted the money back. Money had never been the point. She wanted Daniel to see something he had spent months trying to forget. The evidence. Evidence that dreams are rarely built by one pair of hands. Tucked neatly beneath the stack of documents was a single handwritten note. It contained only one sentence. I never invested in your company. I invested in the man I believed you would become. When Daniel finally opened the envelope later that evening, he stared at the documents for a very long time. Each receipt was more than a financial record. It was a memory. The laptop she bought when his old one crashed before an interview, the cloud certification she paid for after selling the gold bracelet her late mother had given her, the first office rent, the legal fees to register Luminamind AI, the monthly grocery bills from the years when his bank account rarely had more than a few pounds left. He suddenly realized something that no balance sheet had ever shown him. His company's earliest investor had never sat in a boardroom. She had stood behind a pharmacy counter. And unlike every venture capitalist who invested for profit, she had invested for love. Daniel closed the envelope and leaned back in his chair. For the first time since becoming successful, the applause that once thrilled him sounded strangely empty.
Daniel, there's something we need to discuss.
You sound serious.
I am.
What's wrong?
The board has reviewed the latest financial projections.
Every startup has difficult quarters.
Not after receiving this level of funding.
We'll recover.
My father doesn't invest in hope. He invests in results. It means Heart Capital now owns 48% of your company.
I already knew that.
No, you knew the number. You didn't understand the power that comes with it. The board is appointing an executive chairman.
Without consulting me?
The shareholders don't need your permission.
This company is my life.
Correction. It used to be.
Why didn't you tell me?
Because emotions don't belong in business. You should know that by now.
I gave up everything for us.
No, you gave up everything for success. Don't confuse the two.
For the first time since leaving Amelia, Daniel experienced a feeling he had almost forgotten. He felt replaceable. The boardroom that once applauded his vision had become a room full of spreadsheets, performance charts, and shareholder expectations. Nobody asked how many sleepless nights he had endured. Nobody cared how many lines of code he had written. They only cared about numbers, growth, profit, market share. Ironically, Daniel was now living by the same philosophy that had destroyed his relationship with Amelia. Everything had become transactional. He remembered the evening Amelia refused to let him repay her sacrifices. I don't want the money back. At the time, he hadn't understood those words. Now, he finally did. Some investments are made with love. Others are made for control. And he was learning the difference far too late.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next award recognizes innovation in community healthcare and pharmaceutical accessibility. This year's recipient has transformed independent pharmacies across the United Kingdom. Please welcome Dr. Amelia Okafor.
Thank you very much.
Before you leave the stage, there's one more announcement. Your company has signed a nationwide partnership with the NHS. Congratulations. Would you like to say a few words? Success doesn't always begin the day people notice you. Sometimes it begins the day you stop waiting for someone else to choose you. Thank you.
Walking away from Daniel had been the hardest decision Emilia had ever made. But staying would have cost her something even more valuable: her self-respect. The months that followed were filled with quiet rebuilding. She accepted the postgraduate clinical pharmacy program she had once declined. This time, she completed it with distinction. She earned additional certifications in healthcare management and digital pharmacy services, combining years of practical experience with advanced leadership training. A former university lecturer introduced her to two independent pharmacy owners looking to retire. Instead of purchasing a single pharmacy, the dream she had once shared with Daniel, Emilia proposed something much bigger. She acquired both locations through a carefully negotiated partnership, modernized their operations, and introduced digital prescription management, home delivery services for elderly patients, and multilingual healthcare support for immigrant communities. Word spread quickly. Patients trusted her. Healthcare professionals respected her. Within 3 years, Oakwell Community Pharmacy Group had expanded from 2 branches to 7, becoming one of London's fastest-growing independent pharmacy networks. She no longer worked endless overtime to finance someone else's future. She worked because she had finally discovered her own. One rainy afternoon, as she stepped out of a board meeting surrounded by journalists and healthcare executives, her assistant handed her a thick procurement folder. "There are 3 companies bidding for our national AI logistics contract," the assistant explained. Emilia accepted the folder without much thought. She opened it while walking toward her office. The first proposal came from an international software company, the second from a healthcare technology consortium. Then she turned to the third. At the top of the page, embossed in silver lettering, were the words, "Lumina Mind AI Limited." Emilia stopped walking. For a long moment, the bustling corridor around her seemed to disappear. Slowly, she closed the folder. Fate had just placed the past back on her desk, not as a memory, but as a business decision.
Our final meeting today concerns the NHS National Digital Pharmacy Logistics Project. The lead representative from Lumina Mind AI has arrived.
Please send him in.
Good morning. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Amelia?
Good morning, Mr. Adeyemi. Please have a seat.
I didn't know.
That I chaired Oakwell Community Pharmacy Group?
No.
Neither did I, until I started believing in myself.
Do you two know each other?
Yes, many years ago our lives crossed paths. Today we're here strictly as professionals. Excellent. Mr. Adeyemi, you may begin.
Lumina Mind AI has developed an integrated healthcare logistics platform capable of reducing delivery delays by...
Take your time.
Thank you.
If Oakwell chooses Lumina Mind, can your company truly deliver everything you've promised?
Yes, without hesitation.
Good, because thousands of patients will depend on it, not investors, not shareholders, people.
Daniel had spent the entire presentation expecting revenge. He expected Amelia to expose him, embarrass him, reject his proposal without reading it. Instead, she treated him exactly as she treated every other bidder, fairly, professionally, without bitterness. That unexpected kindness hurt more than humiliation ever could, because kindness leaves no room for excuses. As the board deliberated, Daniel looked through the glass wall at the woman he had once believed would always remain behind him. She no longer stood behind anyone. She stood confidently at the head of her own table, not because someone rescued her, because she rescued herself. For the first time in many years, Daniel understood the true cost of his success. He hadn't merely lost a relationship, he had lost the one person who loved him before success made him valuable to everyone else.
After reviewing all 3 proposals, the board has reached its decision. Oakwell awards the NHS Digital Logistics contract to Lumina Mind AI.
Thank you.
Mrs. Okafor, would you like to say anything before we conclude?
Just one thing. Business should never become a place where personal pain decides professional outcomes.
Today we chose the strongest proposal. Why?
Why what?
Why didn't you destroy me? You had every reason to.
Because carrying revenge is another way of carrying you.
I'm sorry.
I know.
Do you think you could ever forgive me?
Daniel, I forgave you long before today, not because you deserved it, because I deserve peace.
There's one thing I want you to remember.
Anything.
Never confuse the person who celebrates your success with the person who helped you survive your struggles. Take care of yourself. Goodbye, Daniel.
Life has a remarkable way of returning us to the places where our character was first tested. Not always to rewrite the past, but to reveal how much we have changed. Daniel walked away from the boardroom carrying the biggest contract his company had received in years. Yet the victory felt strangely quiet. For once, success wasn't the loudest voice in his heart. Regret was. He finally understood that wealth could replace almost anything except the genuine love of someone who believed in you before the world knew your name. As for Amelia, she never looked back. She continued expanding Oakwell Community Pharmacy Group across the United Kingdom, mentoring young pharmacists, creating employment opportunities, and ensuring that quality healthcare reached communities often overlooked. The woman who once sacrificed her dreams to build someone else's future had become a woman who inspired others to build their own. She discovered that being discarded did not mean being defeated. Sometimes it simply means God is making room for a better purpose. Because the greatest revenge is not making someone regret losing you. It is becoming someone who no longer needs their regret to feel complete. And perhaps the deepest lesson of all is this: never take for granted the hands that quietly lift you when no one else is watching. Applause may celebrate your success, but sacrifice is what made that success possible. The people who stand beside you when your pockets are empty are the people you should never forget when your table is full. If this story touched your heart, remember this: the people who believe in you before the world applauds you are priceless. Never let success make you forget the hands that helped you rise. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe to Sweetest African Folktales. Your support helps us continue bringing you powerful African-inspired stories filled with love, family, sacrifice, redemption, and life lessons that stay with you long after the story ends. Tell us in the comments, do you think Daniel deserved a second chance, or did Amelia make the right decision by walking away for good? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Until our next story, keep believing in kindness, keep choosing integrity, and remember, sometimes the sweetest endings begin with the most painful goodbyes. Thank you for watching, sweetest folks. God bless you, and we'll see you in the next unforgettable story.